guys.
Fuck it.
Welcome to
Meg and Sav.
Today's actually a story time. This is Sav.
This is Meg.
Now we're gonna probably, it might be triggering. So, we kind of laugh at it, so.
Yeah, like y'all might think it's inappropriate, but this is our way of dealing with it. Like,
It's
this is
actually
us.
It's actually kind of funny, guys. You might laugh. I'm honestly still in shock.
I was at first, but like since I handled it well.
She really did handle it well. I didn't know what to do in the situation.
Before story. So we went and saw Megan at a play. It was Megan, me, Colby, and Sydney. So I was driving with Colby, and Sydney was with us. We drove to my house to switch out so we could have like 2 cars with 2 people.
Yeah.
Like a car to 2. Yeah. We went to my house to switch it to where it would be like 2 kids per car, which is the legal. So then Colby goes first because we have the truck, which is ginormous. So we get to this light.
It was a 4-way intersection. Oh,
I didn't see anything, so I can't give you details, but I can like spread on her details afterwards because like I was there for the after part.
she can probably honestly tell the part better of what happened afterwards than I.
Because it was a blur for her, and I was like focused. Sorta. I was looking at the hot firefighters. He was fine as fuck.
Which one? The tall one or the
The tall white one.
Tall. We were driving. It was a 4-way intersection. We were actually on our way to Starbucks because the play had ended at like 9ish. We left at like 9:15, and we wanted to go to Starbucks. And this particular one that we were going to was open till 11, and a lot of the other ones closed at like 9 or 10. So we wanted to have enough time. So we were just on our way there. And Sydney and I were listening to music. We were like singing along or whatever. And I'm driving, just doing a left turn. The light was green. I wasn't speeding or anything. Like it was a 30 zone. So all of a sudden I hear Megan, and then the next thing I know, like I hit someone.
A guy on a bike.
Like in this moment, I didn't know what to do. I thought it was a bad dream. I was like, just wake up, Megan. Like, just wake up. You know, I thought it was like my fault at the time. I didn't know if he was gonna make it. I was freaking out, and Sydney and I like literally screamed. We got out of the car, and I literally like in movies when you see somebody like plop on like the windshield and roll down. That's literally what it was. Like right in front of our own eyes. It was horrifying. I literally didn't know what to do. I thought it was my fault. I thought I had just killed someone, and I never would have expected that to happen. And like they always say like, oh, it could be you and like wrecks and everything, which is true. But I never like thought about like hitting somebody, like running over somebody on a bike and plopping on your car.
We're 16. We just wanted Starbucks. Let me clarify this. Thankfully, everyone is okay. We don't have an update on the guy. He was stable. I smelled weed. I used to be a stoner. I know weed. My sniffer is very good.
Like Sydney and I screamed. We got out of the car. We ran up to him to see if he was okay. And other people got out to help us, and they like grabbed the guy and they put him on like the side. It was like a corner, like a crosswalk corner. And my car was like in the middle of the intersection. The windshield was shattered, and I was freaking out, going like, "Where's my phone? Like, someone call the police. Like, we need to call 911 right now." I ran to the car to grab my phone, and then someone else had already called, and that's when I see Savannah and Colby walking over. So I'll let her take over. Y'all ran. Y'all
like we took off running, guys. It was terrifying. I thought he was kidding because that's how Colby is. Like Colby fucks around with me all the time. He's constantly like that. You're gonna have to bleep out a lot of stuff.
It's fine.
But fuck it.
We're not trying to get monetized or whatever.
Like fuck it.
Yeah.
But basically I was in Colby's truck and I just hear Savannah. She just hit a guy, and I thought he was playing. And so I busted out laughing, and then afterwards he's like, I'm playing, Savannah. He parks, he slams the brakes, we jump out of the car, and like I'm in socks, and I take off running across the intersection. Like I take off. I was like, is my friend okay? Is my friend okay? Like I just wanted to know if my girls were okay. And I was like, I see them and they're fine, and I finally like settled down, and that's when I realized that, like they're freaking out. Me and Colby both like realized like our friends are freaking out. We need to be there for them.
Savannah was amazing. The first thing Savannah did, before even knowing anything, she walked up to me and she's like, it was an accident, it's gonna be okay, like just calm down, you're gonna be okay. Like that was exactly what we needed. Colby as well, like, but yeah, anyways.
That's just how we are. Like we're very religious people. And so I was like, we need to pray. So we pray, and the guy is just laying down, and he smelled like bud, and that's just me, like he smelled like straight bud. I thank the people that were there with us because we're 16. We don't know how to deal with it. Like what would we have done if those people weren't there? We're not sure. Because even like calling the cops, we would have struggled with that. We would have struggled so bad, but we had adults and older people who knew how to deal with this that helped us. So we were thankful for that.
Yes, they were helping him too, the guy. I didn't know what to do. I asked him as soon as I was like, are you okay, sir? Are you okay? He was moving. He
was like he couldn't talk.
He was just like, he wasn't bleeding or anything, but like, you know,
you're in shock just as much as, like, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like laying and smiling, and this is my thing, like, you know, you're baked when you get hit by a car and you're smiling your ass off. He's over here like,
she told me that today. I didn't know that.
but there is no confirmation that he was baked, like, but this is just like from my sniffer.
No.
Talk to the cops. I was like the first person to talk to the cops, and I asked her like, what is the logistics of this? Like, can she get in trouble for this? Will she get in trouble for this? Like, what are the details? Because my best friend needs details. She's that person. So I got all the details, and I made sure, like, the first thing I had chance I could get, I told Megan the exact details. Like, it was not her fault.
Yeah.
It really wasn't, because he didn't have a light on his bike. He didn't have bright colors. He was African American, which I know y'all are gonna try to play us and be like, that's racist. No, it's not, because either way, it'd be hard to see a skin tone, but when the skin tone is black,
at night,
it's harder to see.
What had happened was the biker ran a red light. My light was green. We had multiple witnesses there to see it. Then we had other cars too that confirmed this with the police.
Her light was green
and his light was red. When you're a biker, especially if you're like, I don't know if he was driving on the side, but if he was driving literally in the middle, I'm pretty sure he was like driving like in the car lane. Is that even legal? I don't know, but maybe he was driving on like the side. I really don't know, honestly. But he ran a red light, and as a biker, you have the same responsibility as driver. You should have lights on at night, first of all, regardless of any vehicle or whatever it is, any transportation, you should have lights on at night. Also, he ran a red light. He has to follow all the same laws, and that's what the police was saying. He really hit me, but it makes it seem like I hit him because I had the bigger vehicle.
I didn't get any footage because I didn't want to seem childish. Like, that's a serious thing. We're in a day and age of where you record everything, but there are some things that don't need to be recorded, and that man did not need to be recorded at that moment.
Yeah.
That man doesn't need to be named, aka bleep out his name later.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. But I was like too in shock to cry, and my parents came. I was calling my dad. Basically, I was freaking out because like this whole time I had thought it was my fault the whole time. I had thought that I killed him. Whatever they need to do to me. But like, this guy needs to be okay. Like, how am I gonna keep going knowing that?
And that's what I meant by like, you need facts.
Yeah.
And I got the facts as soon as I could.
Thank you. I know. I really, really appreciate that.
And we did group prayers, like
with
the family, like Sydney's parents, Megan's parents, of course us kids, and it was like just us kids as well. There's a cross
on the car. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's literally like a straight cross. Oh my gosh.
And what do we do every time we get in the car?
We say a car prayer. We know that God was very evident in this situation because, you know, it could have been so much worse. Okay, if it had happened like 2 seconds earlier, it could have been someone else with a bigger car, because it's
like us. Like, it could have been me and Colby was in the death machine.
Like, my car is a little car going 30 miles an hour. Another car could have hit him.
That guy wouldn't have hit the windshield. He would have hit the front of the car, which is the hardest thing.
Exactly. Also, someone could have been speeding on that road, because I'm not trying to like say other people would do things, but like coming at 50 miles an hour, even my car could have killed him. Not only that, but there was already a crack in my windshield when I got the car. There was like a crack in it, but it wasn't like a shatter, it was just like a little crack. If the impact of this guy's like probably like 150-pound body caused the windshield to shatter,
imagine
a car would have caused it to completely like shatter into pieces and rip open. My dad had driven the car home, so my parents did come. I had called them. My mom drove myself home, and my dad took the car home. He said when he was driving, like, the glass started coming in. There's like glass specks inside the car, and he said that he thought it was gonna like fold in like on him, so he had to like drive with his hazards on, like going 30 on a 50. So, and this is honestly a learning situation, because if you think about it, I mean, I could say
she followed the rules exactly. There was nothing she could do. She couldn't be careful because Sydney could see him, but Megan could not. Like, now we know, like, hey, can listen, like, there's a guy there, but sometimes like it doesn't register in your brain. Like, all of us kind of we're connected in a way, but like, you know yeah. I'm looking at you like, it's hard to tell when you're joking and when you're being serious, because we joke so much. Not saying that joking was a part of this, but because it wasn't, like, but like when you say, hey, there's a guy, like I said, when I was in the car, when Colby said like Megan just hit a guy, I laughed. We're 16. Do you really think this is gonna happen?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, everyone says it all the time, and I hate to be one of the people that repeats it, but like, see, it always could be you. And here's the thing, like, I could sit here and say all these different things that I could have done differently. Even when you're at a green light, you should look both ways before you go. But like, legally, I did not break the law, and I hope this taught him something. Maybe it was drugs that caused him to do this. Maybe it was honestly a pure accident on his part. But whatever it was, it could have been so much worse. He actually got himself into the ambulance. He was okay. He was sitting up. I think he actually passed out for a couple seconds, because I know they were trying to talk to him. They're like, don't close your eyes on us, sir. Like,
Yeah.
And he had like leaned back and closed his eyes, and I couldn't watch because like I thought like he was dying, and I was like, it was crazy. It still like hasn't hit me that it really happened. Like, I know it happened, and now I'm starting to like lighten up about it. I'm really honestly glad that it happened. We learned a great, valuable, amazing lesson at paying such a minimal cost. I'm just gonna have to get my windshield replaced, and I think the wipers, it's nothing unfixable.
We'll have to show the car.
So here's the car. This is the windshield right here. Aspects that you can see. The wipers are broken. This is the actual skid marks of him. This is what happened to him. You can see the skid marks of him on the car. His fingerprints, and then, you know, I don't really want to show license plate number. The little paint marks and marks right here. So yeah, this is you know what happened, and yeah.
God was very evident in this, and we
really
full-fledged believe that.
And doubt me all you want, but there's a cross on that car. When I like was hugging my parents, that's when I lost it. That's the thing that like makes me want to cry, is that it's just really overwhelming. Just that moment of panic, actually knowing that you hit someone, not knowing whether they're going to be okay, not knowing what's going to happen to yourself, and it was crazy. If you want to know the questions that they asked, I want to know what they asked you.
They just asked me name, number, just like my social stuff, and asked me did I see anything. I told her I'm being dead honest. I didn't see anything at all. I won't lie. They're very sweet. They're very kind.
They were. The questions they asked me, they're like, who's the driver? And I was like, me, sir. All right, who was in the car? And I was like, her, Sydney. And they're like, all right, how many people were you driving? And I was like, one. And we had like showed them like they had their own car, we had ours.
I think that was me who said we should put 2 on 2.
That's good. I'm glad you said that.
I think we did, because I needed to go to my house anyway. I was like, Colby, should we just do 2 on 2 so Megan doesn't have to drive alone, and you don't have to drive alone.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, because like that helped a lot, because that helped them show that like we're mature teenagers following the law. They also asked me like where I worked and stuff, where they asked like, oh, where do you live? Like, where were you going? Why didn't you go to the one closer to you? I think they asked everyone kind of the same things to get it all together. Like right before we left, like the cops came over and he looked at me, he's like, listen, he's like, I need you to know this, like I know you're gonna beat yourself up over it, but you need to not, it's not your fault, there's nothing that you could have done. Bikers think that they rule the roads, and not all bikers, but a lot of them do, and he needs to know that he can't be running red lights. He needs to follow all the rules as you do. He's like, I'm no like paramedic, it looks like he's gonna be okay, and you know, just go home, and the only thing you're really gonna have to deal with is like the mental trauma. Yeah, that's basically it. I asked if there's any way that they'd be able to let us know
any more complications.
They would have to go through the hospital, and they don't know if the hospital is allowed to get that out.
That was our story time.
Thank you guys for listening. Alright guys, so we're gonna end this. We're gonna continue vlogging, so if you want to see our vlogs, go watch that. But that was our story time. Pretty crazy. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let us know. If we have any updates, we'll let you guys know as well. And yeah, thanks for watching that. Yeah, we ran someone over. That's literally just... Hey guys, it's me like a week and a half later. The quality is pretty sucky. I know it's probably been sucky this whole video. I just want to come on and give a couple updates because it has been about a week and a half since the accident. I wanted to give some updates. The windshield is fixed. We got it fixed like the Tuesday after it happened, I believe. So we got the windshield fixed. The wipers that I had talked about actually aren't broken. We usually pop back into place. All the other damage is just cosmetic. It's not even that bad. I'm not worried about it at all. As far as I know, the guy's okay. Haven't heard any updates on him. Hope the best for him. If he ever sees this, dude, I hope the best for you. He, on the incident report, which I actually got, I'm not going to show it because you don't need to see names or anything, but did not say anything about him being drugged, so I apologize for falsely accusing him. But yeah, that's basically it. He, according to the incident report, he was not baked or anything, and everything is all good now. And my anxiety with driving has gone down a little bit, and Savannah's good, and we just kind of laugh about it a little bit. It's not really funny, it's just kind of our way of dealing with it, but it's also something serious and a beware, so I hope you guys could take something from this. And we already have an outro, so I'm not going to do another one, but